It's actually an understatement if I were to say that the WWE has put almost zero effort into their women's division over the past year, or at least since Triple H has taken over. I thought I enjoyed every Bianca Belair title defense when she was a champion. She's since lost the championship, but they never really gave Bianca Belair a lot of her own storylines as champion. And I'm starting to see the same as for Rhea Ripley as champion, and I think it might be even worse in the case of Rhea Ripley. On one hand, I see that at Clash of Champions, what they were doing by just making her squash Natalya, and she squashes Natalya because of interference from Dom and Dom getting involved. That makes sense, sure. But so far, there's been no real storyline for Rhea. Even the story with Zelina was not a Rhea story, it was a Zelina story because they were in Puerto Rico. So while they're booking Rhea as the monster heel here, even though some people want to cheer her, so that's a different story, they're not making us actually care about her title reign because they're not really booking for it. It looked like they were still going to continue the feud with Natalya after this squash thanks to Dom, but that doesn't seem to be the case now. It's starting to look like Rhea might not even have a title match at Money in the Bank unless they throw one together. Well, today I thought it's time for me to book how I would put a Rhea match on Money in the Bank. I too wouldn't have a title match per se, which might not be the best thing, but I thought we could make people care about Rhea in a storyline, and we could also make people once again start to maybe care about Natalya Neidhart once again. She has quite the history in pro wrestling where her family is concerned. The Hart family, they haven't played that up in so long in the WWE. I don't know why, but that is a way to make people care about both Natalya and Rhea and her title once again. So, the big problem with Rhea Ripley and the Natalya feud, which was only a few weeks long, is Natalya has been underutilized and beaten so much over the years now that nobody cares enough about her. The quickest way, in my opinion, to make wrestling fans start to care about her again is use her legacy and her past. On the June 12th Raw, I would have a segment / vignette of detailing the Hart family, from Stu Hart and the Dungeon to Bret Hart and his legacy. You can mention Owen and Bulldog, and of course, probably most important for Natalya, mention her father Jim Neidhart. There was a brilliance to that history, from Jim Neidhart and Bret Hart being a tag team together for like a decade. And you could detail Bret Hart's career ending way too soon in a tragic way, from going from the Montreal Screwjob to a career-ending injury in WCW. And you can even bring up how there have been so many unfortunate deaths from this legacy. You could have Natalya talking in this, talking about how she does not have any children, and unless someone's grandkids start wrestling, then Natalya is the end of the Hart family legacy. And that is actually a fact. If none of these grandkids of the Harts are going to start wrestling, the Hart family legacy ends with Natalya. She says she must rise above the adversity from losing so quickly to Rhea Ripley and end the legacy strong. She's going to get another title shot on the June 19th Raw. But during that June 19th Raw, there would be more of a match than at Clash of Champions. Natalya would actually put up a fight this time for a while until Rhea starts to dominate. But at one point, I would have Natalya start to get some slippery pins on Rhea, which makes Dom have to interfere. And this time Dominic gets caught, and now Natalya ends up winning by DQ. But thanks to Dom, Rhea gives Natalya a beatdown, once again trying to humiliate her. And maybe you could start to get some more heat on Rhea, because a lot of people want to cheer her, even though she's supposed to be a villain. And maybe you could actually get some sympathy on Natalya if Rhea's just always trying to humiliate Natalya. On the go-home Raw for Money in the Bank, you could have Natalya call out Rhea knowing she will not come out and make it one-on-one, she knows she will come out with at least Dom, if not more, from the Judgment Day. But it's worth a try for Natalya anyway. She wants a fight tonight, not a wrestling match. She wants a fight. But Dominic does come out with Rhea. However, once Dominic and Rhea are starting to surround Natalya, trying to intimidate Natalya, you have British Bulldog's son, Harry Smith Jr., come out, return, and help Natalya fight off Dominic and Rhea. Natalya wants a tag match in England since the premium live event is going to be in London, England. You have British Bulldog's son, Harry Smith Jr., team up with Natalya against Dominic and Rhea. It's a throwback to British Bulldog versus Bret at Wembley. Although I think this would actually probably be AEW who tries to get Harry Smith Jr. to be at their Wembley Stadium show. I don't know what his contract is with MLW. It doesn't seem to be very tight, and this is fantasy booking anyways. And it would probably just be a one-off for Harry Smith if I was booking, sort of like Carlito in Puerto Rico. But that would be my idea to not only get a little more interest in a Natalya versus Rhea feud, but also try and build Natalya back up. That's what the women's division needs. They need more people to be built up besides the champions, because if not, you just have these champions with no real formidable foes to go after. And that's why Bianca Belair's championship reign started to go stale to some people towards the last few months. It's why Rhea Ripley's title reign is already being pretty lame, because there's no real people to challenge her and make a big deal out of it. So yeah, they have the feud between Becky and Trish, but that's going to go on with those two for another little while. So let's try and get something real between Rhea and Natalya. That's my idea anyway for now. I'm going to try and keep booking month by month to show how I would try and build back up the women's division in the WWE, which is greatly necessary and needed.